Hello students, so today our topic for Rajasthan land is land. We have already done an online class on this, so I will just give you an overview for these sections. That section 88 is about all the roads and all the lands which are not property of others belonging to the state. So this section is particularly dealing with all those lands that are not any individual's property, and all this area are under the state government. So it is talking about these properties that it belongs to the state, and if there is any kind of suit, then the collector will be the lawful authority to do the inquiry and to pass a order. Also, if there is any kind of suit instituted, then what will be an expiration of any year from date to date that the order is passed, and which authority can put dismiss these kind of orders. Then it is talking about that the collector is the prescribe of collector is the one who has the power to enforce subsection 1 and subsection 2. And it is talking about the notice that is to be given, and with what provisions should be in accordance with these notice. Now, section 89 is talking about the right of minerals, mines, and quarries and fisheries. So, this section is talking about all those areas that are used for mining and for quarrying, for extracting such kind of products, and who will be the authorized person, and what all powers are there, like right to occupy is there, and right to access to land is there. Also, if there is this power is given to a individual, then he can act under what all powers, like the like the state government or not. And if that person is acting like the state government, what permissions are required. These all are covered under this section. And if there is any kind of infringement done, then where will what compensation will be there, who will calculate the compensation. This is all what is discussed in this section. The failure of paying compensation, then in that case, how can that money be recovered. And if any person without a lawful authority is extracting minerals and from these mines and from these quarries, then exactly what procedure will be followed to to get penalty from these people. So this is all what is covered under section 89. Now section 90, liability of all land to payment of revenue or rent. This is talking about that there is the liability on all such kind of lands to pay revenue rent and revenue or rent. But it is also talking about this, that there is a special grant that can be given. In that case, one doesn't have to pay this revenue or rent. And it is also discussing that who can exempt, the state government can exempt such kind of special grants or contracts. Also, what notifications are to be sent. And it is also telling this, that this kind of payment of rent is retrospectively and prospectively applicable. Then this is all this section is talking about. Then section 90A, this is talking about using of agricultural land that is not for agricultural purposes. Then in this case, who will be giving the written permission, where are these conditions laid, what is the procedure and terms and conditions that are supposed to be kept in mind to attain such permission. And it is also talking about the liability to pay to the state government that will arise while when this kind of permission is given. Then what all liabilities will be there, what all punishments will be there. And it is also discussing about who will what prescribed officers can um, uh, give this kind of requisite permissions, and what prescribed particulars should be there in the application. There should be a proper application filed to have such kind of land for a purpose that is not agricultural purpose. It is also talking about uh, those cases in which these lands are used without these permissions, or where there is breach in the terms and conditions, or there is a refusal to give such permission, but still there is a trespasser who is still acting on this kind of lands and enjoying these kind of lands, then what all consequences are there, what all liabilities will be imposed. This is what this section is talking about. Now, section 91, unauthorized occupation of land. So, now this is talking about people who occupy land with unauthorization, who are not authorized to occupy such land. Then, in this case, Tehsildar comes into the picture, and he's the one who will ask the trespasser to evict this land, and what all this Tehsildar can do. That is what it is discussed in section 91. Also, in furtherance to pay, there are more things that are there, that is mentioned in subsection 2, that uh, with each agriculture year there will be an penalty extended to 50 times the annual rent. This is what it is discussed in this section. Disobey to the notice, like the trespasser doesn't vacate, or it doesn't appear, or appears but is not giving a show cause, or is his presentation is rejected, then in that case what all powers the tehsildar has. This is what it is discussed in this section. And also, in what cases such a trespasser uh, can can buy this lands, and the tehsildar can sell such lands. Then this section is also discussing when a person who has occupied such land without a lawful authorities, then what note till what time period the notice is there, and after what time period it expires, then what all convictions can be given, what all punishments can be given. If the state government employee is not following the proper order, is not preventing such kind of an offense, or is and doing it willingly and knowingly, then what all consequences will occur, and which uh, officer is prescribed officer to investigate in an offense, in such kind of offenses. Also, the purpose of this subsection, in this purpose the land meaning is given, and when the collector can take cognizance, when the court can take cognizance is also given. Now, section 92 is talking about setting apart lands for any special purposes, like forest reserve, pasturage of cattle, development of abadi, and any other public or municipal purpose. Section 93 is talking about regulations that are to be made to these kind of lands that are set apart for pasturage. Then section 94 is talking about the powers to regulate, control, and management of forest growth. So this is talking about this is basically concerned with preventing deforestation. So state government make a lot of rules and regulations which are to be followed, and if in case they are not followed, there is a breach to them, then what all liabilities will be imposed, who is the competent authority, which court is the has the competent jurisdiction to impose them. This is all what is mentioned in it. What all can be done to compensate the people who go through the loss or injury due to these breach, and what all benefits can be given to the forest growth. That is what is discussed in this section. Also, it is talking about making the estate holder or other person, if there is a material violation, then taking over, proclaiming his land, or issuing a notice to show cause that why he should be excluded from such kind of land, why such estate holder or individual should be excluded from possession of forest land. And it is also talking about when there is a direct management that takes over due to insufficiency of the estate holder or other person to satisfy the court that he should not be excluded from the possession of the land, then in that case what will be the what will in this direct management, what payments will be given to the estate holder, this is all mentioned in this section. Now, section 94A and 94B is talking about roadside trees that we see uh, while we are traveling. We see there are a lot of trees by side of the road. So this is talking about that. Then section 95 is talking about the development of abadi. So there are particular abadi areas, abadi lands that are created. In that case, what all premiums are to be paid, and whether it a person is occupying such land before commencement of this act and or after commencement of this act, then what all premiums these people will pay, and this is all in this section. Then this section is also discussing about the powers that the tehsildar can exercise. And now section 96 is the collector to fix the rates of premium. So this means that the collector will be fixing the rates of premium in abadi areas. Now section 97 is talking about auction of abadi. So this auction of abadi happens when there are more than one applicants. So then in such kind of auction there is a higher bid that is taken, and that according to that bid such lands are given. But there is a proviso to it as well, that the collector can reject the highest bid with recorded reasons, or small strips can be made, and accordingly it could be with previous sanction of the subdivisional, and accordingly it could be given. Or auctions under this shall be regulated by the state government in this behalf. All of this is mentioned in section 97. Section 98 is talking about the land granted for receptacles of household refuse. So this is talking about those land which are free from the premium or from the rent land. And it is also discussing that there are provisos attached to this kind of lands, like the collector can have the right to resume such kind of lands without paying any compensation, and the person who is being granted this kind of lands cannot transfer his rights for exchange, for mortgage, for sale or gift. And there are other like these lands are not to be claimed as a matter of right. And also the lands that are given under this section 98 subsection 1 can be resumed under the orders of the revenue officer who is not below the rank of tehsildar. And if there is a contravention of any provisions. Then section 99 is the right to regulate the construction of a building in a village. So this is just talking about that wherever there is the state government can regulate the construction and maintenance and demolition and repairs and extension of such houses and other buildings in villages, towns that are under the local authority. Section 100 is the sale of land in industrial and commercial areas. So this means that the state government can sell lands for industrial and commercial purposes also, and for them also annual assessment will be imposed. Now, allotment of land for agriculture purposes. So this is talking about how these lands are allotted for agriculture purposes. What is the criteria behind it? Like these allotments are done with the payment of rent that is fixed, and with a particular rate in accordance with the custom and usage of any law on the subject. Then if there are more than one persons who want such land, then how these allotments will be done, like the in the co-sharers case. Or if persons who are residing in the village, then to the person who are resided in the village, and to the one who has no land, or by drawing dots. And there is a proviso attached to it as well, that these areas so taken together with the area held by him does not exceed the area prescribed by the said rules. So the areas that are taken should not exceed, by adding with those areas that already existed, should not proceed should not exceed the prescribed area that is being that has been mentioned in the rules. 102 is talking about the power of government to allot land for purpose other than agriculture as well as special terms. So this is talking about that the state government has all the powers to allot lands for purpose of any industry or any other public utility on such conditions as it deems it. 102A is talking about the land which may be entrusted with local authorities. So in this case, the state government can give such kind of lands to the local authorities. So now when these lands are given to the local authorities, till what extent they can exercise their powers and all, this is what it is mentioned in section 102A. And 103 section is the land and abadi defined for the purpose of chapter 6. So this section is dealing with the meaning of land and the meaning of abadi area and abadi land or abadi. Section 104 is discussing about the powers of the revenue code which local authorities can exercise, because now if according to section 10 if according to 104, local authorities are the ones who are given the lands by the state government to the local authorities, then they can also exercise various powers that are mentioned under section 97, 98, and by 102A these lands are given to the local authorities, so they can exercise 97, 98, which these exercises are exercised by the collector or by other revenue officer, and can be exercised exclusively by the local authority concerned, but it should be in accordance with the rules that are mentioned in the state government. Now section 105 is talking about the right of tenants that is given under section 31 of Rajasthan Tenancy Act to possess in a wadi of a village a site for a residential house free of charge. So this right cannot be affected or taken away or abridged because of section 95, 96, 97, 98 and 102. Thank you.